Hello everyone, and welcome to the Chrono Show. A belated episode of the Chrono Show at that, but the reason I'm uploading it today is because, well, I was on vacation, and I couldn't upload anything, because obviously I didn't have my laptop, didn't have any editing or recording equipment, I really had nothing, and my voice might sound weird because I got sick while on vacation. Lovely. But while I was on vacation, I was really hoping that Koro would not leak so that I could, like, talk about it the day it came out, but like on Wednesday or something, which was really early, the Koro did leak, and it released a ton of ridiculous information, stuff that was like, what? I mean, nobody expected any of this. Something called Mega Pokemon, which is some kind of weird evolution. And some of the Pokemon that have Mega evolutions, are 3-stage Pokemon, which means that this is kind of like a 4th stage, which is just bizarre. However, it's pretty cool. I honestly don't hate the idea. I'll talk about my opinion later. But without further ado, let's look at the first one. So, the first Mega Pokemon is Mega Blaziken. It's kind of interesting seeing a starter have almost a 4th evolution, but it looks pretty cool. I like it. It just really looks like a bigger, better version of Blaziken. And this one's interesting because when the game comes out, there'll be an event that lets you get a Torchic holding something called a Mega Stone, and that's what allows the Blaziken to turn into Mega Blaziken. And what happens is you give it the stone, and then you send it out in battle, and it just kind of turns into the Mega Pokemon. I have no idea if there's other criteria. I believe there are, but we don't know what it is. We just know it has to have the Mega Stone and it has to be in battle. Other than that, we really don't know about the mechanics behind this. But that's Mega Blaziken. It's with an event, which is interesting. But I think that one's going to be pretty cool. And Blaziken is already banned in the metagame because of its speed boost ability. So this thing is going to be like extra banned or something. Alright, moving on to Mega Lucario. This thing, as people are calling it, is pretty much the most overdrawn Pokemon out there. Although, even though it is pretty overdrawn, it's cool. I like it a lot. It looks fierce. It looks mean. There's not really a whole lot to say about Mega Lucario. It's just a bigger, better version of Lucario. I like the design. It's pretty crazy looking. But overall, it's not bad. Now, moving on to probably the funniest one, Mega Ampharos. It's pretty much Ampharos with a lot of hair. People are making all these hilarious memes with it. My favorite being in the bottom right-hand corner, the L'Oreal, because I'm worth it ad, with Mega Ampharos and a Pokemon which we will see in a second. But I just really like that. It's hilarious. And I guess these Mega forms kind of give them some kind of hair growing thing. Although one thing I like about this is that it kind of makes Ampharos look more like Flaffy and Mareep. It kind of turned from a sheep into some kind of weird kangaroo, and now it's a kangaroo sheep. Nah, I got nothing. Now on to Mega Mawile. It's really just a Mawile with, instead of one mouth thingy on his head, it's 2 mouth thingies on his head. And this thing is fairy type. Oh, I forgot to mention, Mega Ampharos. That thing is Electric Dragon. That makes no sense. I mean, it's cool, I'm not arguing, I don't think we have that type. It's just bizarre. Alright, back to Mega Mawile. This thing is Steel Fairy, as is the regular Mawile now. So Mawile is adding the Fairy type, which makes it interesting. I don't dislike that. Once again, there's not a whole lot to say about this one. It's really just a Mawile with 2 head things. I can see this thing being pretty cool. But moving on to probably my favorite, Mega Absol, which was what we saw with Ampharos in the L'Oreal ad. It also grows some pretty sweet hair. I didn't draw that. That was drawn by Evil Mel on DeviantArt. So check that out if you want. I really like this one. I like the wings. I like the design. It looks graceful. It looks fierce. It looks pretty awesome. I kind of wish that it was a regular evolution. Same with Mega Mawile. That'd be kind of nice. However, if there aren't any criteria other than just giving it the Mega Stone and throwing it out in battle, then I'm not really too distressed about that, because Absol already has a massive attack stat, so it might be a little unfair to give it an evolution. I don't really know. But as long as it's not too much criteria, I'm definitely using this thing, because it just looks so awesome. I mean, I do kind of wish it was dark flying. I believe it's just staying dark, which is fine, but dark flying with its wings would have been pretty sweet. Alright, so moving on. This one, Nintendo kind of threw us a curveball. So apparently, this thing is Mega Mewtwo. It's not just a Mewtwo form. It's Mega. I don't know how in the heck that's going to work. I believe they had called it Awakened form first, so I don't know why they're not calling it Mega Mewtwo. Or maybe that's just its Japanese name. I have no idea. Either way, it's weird. I once again, I don't dislike it. I think I've talked about this design. A lot of people hate it. I think it's okay. Its head looks kind of bizarre. Other than that, it doesn't bother me too much. None of these designs really bother me. They're not hideous. Now this one I really like. This is Mega Kangaskhan. This one wasn't released with Korokoro. It was released, I believe, yesterday in some kind of video thingy-majigget. This one is definitely very different. It's not just a Kangaskhan that looks bigger. Kangaskhan looks the same. It's just Kangaskhan fighting with the baby that's in his pouch. It's a very interesting idea because it shows that the Mega Pokemon aren't only just bigger, fiercer versions of the original guy. They can also add on different qualities. Like this guy, I believe what I heard is that this one can attack twice, which is very cool. However, I would hope that the baby's attack is weaker, because other than that, that'd be pretty overpowered. Like using 2 outrages in one turn, that'd be just ridiculous. But either way, I really like this idea. That's really cool how they made it like that. Not just an overdrawn Kangaskhan, it's a Kangaskhan with its baby. So that wraps it up for the Mega Pokemon, but there are 3 new Pokemon as well. There's the Deadin, I have no idea. This is, I suppose, is going to be a Pikachu ripoff of this generation. And I like it more than the last 2, Pakirisu and Emolga. I really like this guy. He's just kind of like a chubby Raichu. I like its tail. The way it's holding its tail kind of makes me think that if it evolves, it might be something with some kind of whip. That'd be pretty sweet. I like the whatever the heck that is, and its cheekbones. Interesting. I really like the entire design with this guy. Moving on to Benelby. It's okay. For some reason, I think it's probably going to be just the rodent of this generation, like Patrad, Zigzagoon, Rattata, stuff like that. That's what I think it's going to be. And then the more interesting is Skiddo, who is actually the pre-evolution of Go-Goat. If you want to get really technical, this guy was released months ago. There was this trailer in which, in the very back, you could see these 2 lumps that kind of looked like Go-Goat and a smaller Go-Goat. People had been saying maybe it's a pre-evolution, maybe it's just a smaller Go-Goat, maybe it's flowers, but it turns out it's actually Skiddo, which is, I think, quite interesting. So now, moving on to just my opinion of the whole thing. It doesn't bother me. A lot of people really don't like this, like they're ruining Pokemon, they're ruining the simplicity of it, or yada yada yada. The main criticism of the Pokemon series is that it never changes. It's always different. I mean, it's never different. But this Mega Evolution thing, it adds a whole new dimension to it. I mean, because you need to give them that item, it could definitely add a whole dimension to the metagame, where instead of giving a Pokemon leftovers, you could also give it the Mega Stone, so it could either be a tank or an attacker, so it definitely adds a lot of new options for using these Pokemon. And I really like that, even if this doesn't work out, I like that Game Freak is at least trying to do something different. Because Generation 5, I was kind of underwhelmed by it, because there's really nothing new. I mean, the game was good, it just wasn't, it had nothing different from Generation 4. There wasn't really a whole lot of new stuff. I mean, there was the, I don't even know what it's called, because I never used it. There was a Dream World thing, which was interesting, but it was really kind of gimmicky. I liked the Dream World abilities, but it just seemed like more trouble than it was worth. I never really used it. There was how you could go into other people's worlds, which wasn't bad. But with the gameplay itself, there wasn't really anything new that they added. This is very, very different. This could be like the biggest feature they've added since the dawn of Pokemon back in the 90s. They haven't really done anything like this. And I definitely like that they're at least trying to spice up the game experience. Like, I mean, if the game's terrible, then, well, at least you can say they tried. it's not going to be the same game that we grew up with. I mean, it might be, but there's definitely going to be a lot of different aspects to it. They're going to be adding this mega thing that's going to be a whole different evolution. It's going to be pretty much stage 4 Pokemon. It's going to be pretty crazy, but I think that they're going in the right direction. I really think that as long as they don't mess it up too much, they don't change everything, then it's probably going to be for the better. Even if it doesn't work out this generation, next generation, they'll probably work out all the kinks, get rid of everything, things people don't like, and I think this could really work out. So, this is just my opinion of this whole thing. Leave your comments for what you think about this. Oh, and before I go, I want to thank everyone for the success that my last video was. The Finnegan firefighting thing. I was about to leave for vacation. I felt bad just not making a video at all. So I just put that one together in maybe 20 minutes or so, maybe even less. Thought it was a little funny, just give people a small little laugh. Only about 30-second video. And it got more views than I think any other video on the channel. Yeah, we gained a few subscribers. Now we're over 1,000 views. So thank you very much for the 1,000 views. So overall, thank you very much for making that a success. I really didn't expect it. I thought it was just a goofy little video. But yeah, thank you very much, and I'll see you next time.